Oh my god, it's so hot. I'm kind of central. I have something in my eye. Got a lot of redness and a lot of zitties, and I'm really shiny. Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You might notice first off that I'm in a different location than usual, and that's because I have recently moved house, so apologies for the kind of dark, strange background, but we're working with what we've got. So we're going to start off by using my handy dandy trusty Blistex just to hydrate our lips, especially because we're going to be using a liquid lipstick later on, which is quite mattifying and drying, so we just want to make sure our lips are hydrated to prime it well for that. And then the second step is priming our face, which you guessed it, using the Professional oldie but a goodie classic. Okay, then next we're gonna be going in with a light layer of my Garnier BB cream in the shade Light, and this one is for oily skin. Gotta give it a shake. I just put some on the back of my hand like that, and then I take my beauty blender and just dip it in there, and then just kind of do like a sweep across my whole face. Not particularly concentrating on any area, just to kind of keep moving and to blur anything. And you can't even really get a foundation line with BB cream because it's kind of like too light coverage, but still think it's a good idea to just drag a bit down your neck to make sure you're all even. Next, we're going to be using my Ride or Die absolute favorite, like probably one of my favorite products ever, is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla. And it's quite, it's called a creamy concealer, so it's a bit thick. So I don't like to do stripes or anything. I just kind of dot where I want it to make sure that I don't get too much. And also it dries quite quickly, so I do it one side at a time. And then I just blend that out with my beauty blender. Okay, and then next I'm just going to be using the same concealer just to cover up a few blemishes and stuff. Oh, and on the bullseye right between my eyebrows. Gotta cover that baby up. Okay, and then next I'm just gonna be taking my Laura Mercier Loose Transparent Setting Powder. That's what it's called. And I'm not exactly baking because I don't really like baking, and I think it makes me look kind of cakey and kind of like removes the natural look we're going for. But I do just take like a little bit and pack it under. It's like, I guess it kind of is baking, but it's just like light baking to just kind of get a bit of coverage from it, but also just to really like mattify it because I'm so oily. I don't really count it as baking because you can't like see the white powder when I put it on. And then just kind of, oh, well there you can. Completely contradicting my own baking. Or non-baking. Okay, now I'm baking, let's just face it. I just kind of put it wherever I put concealer. Then we'll blend it around in a sec. Okay, and then while that is setting a bit, let's move on to brows. And I'm using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. And I like big, full, natural looking, bushy brows. So I like to brush all the hair up, and then we'll smooth it down in a second, but I just think that this kind of like maximizes the volume. Okay, and now we're just going to be taking a big fluffy brush and just kind of, there's not really anything to brush off actually, but it just makes me feel a bit better. Okay, and now the old favorito, we're going with Bronzey, which I have recently hit pan on in my little cute mini. I think in the summer, the most gorgeous place to put bronzer is like in the hollow of your cheek, like there. But then also blend it upwards. Make sure you never blend it downwards because then it just looks muddy and kind of lowers your cheekbone. But with bronzer, the effect you want is to carve out your cheekbones and lift them up. And so if you put it in the hollows of your cheeks and then kind of go up almost to where people tell you to put blush, then you're gonna get that like lifted cheekbone effect, and it's just gonna define the right parts that you want. And then we're gonna be taking the blush out of this palette, the Becca by Chrissy Teigen palette, which is like no doubt my favorite palette, I think. Like you can do a whole face look with this. I was thinking about doing a video, one palette look, because you can do like literally everything with this palette. And this blush is the most gorgeous thing I have ever seen. It's called Hibiscus Bloom, I believe. Yep, Hibiscus Bloom. And it's just such a pretty pink color. It's a super pigmented blush too. So I take it on this Real Techniques blush brush because it's way fluffier, and so you can, even if you go in with a bit of a heavier hand, you don't end up looking like a clown. Okay, I need to stop before this gets out of hand. Then the other thing is, in this palette there's a really pretty bronzer color called Malibu Soleil, and it's a bit darker than the Hoola bronzer and a bit warmer, so sometimes I just take that and dust it around. Okay, and now for highlight, I believe the other day I used MAC Soft and Gentle. Yeah, I think we'll go with MAC Soft and Gentle. Why the heck not? Just get a bit of that on my brush and sweep it on and around my cheekbone. Oh, and then also onto your brow bone. You can do that too, and it just connects the glowiness really. I just think it is so nice. And then also, of course, can't forget cute little nose highlight. Next, we move on to eyes. This is usually the point where I would spray some like Mario Badescu spray or something on my face to just like melt it all together, but sadly I just ran out, which is tragic. So we won't be doing that, but I highly recommend you do because it makes such a difference, or a setting spray, something of that nature. Moving straight onto eyes, and I'm priming with my Urban Decay primer potion, which is just the best thing ever if you have oily eyelids such as myself. And really just like take that all over your eyelid because it blends away anyway and it's invisible, but that makes a difference to blending out your eyeshadow because there's no barrier to how far up you can blend it or how far out you can blend it. Now we're going to be taking this kind of packer, kind of just normal eyeshadow brush and taking the shade, I'm gonna go with Cobbler. So we're gonna be taking the shade Cobbler from the Sweet Peach palette. And you're just gonna really wanna, it's quite a pigmented shade anyway, but you're just gonna wanna really saturate your brush with that and then just kind of pack that all over the middle of your eyelid. Okay, and now we're going to be blending that out with a Sigma E40 brush and just kind of softening the edges of it before we add anything else. You can always use a bit of something like White Peach from this palette, which is just basic white color, and put that on your brow bone and use it to blend out the eyeshadow a bit better if it's being a bit stubborn. And then I'm going to be taking this new NYX brush that I got, and we're going to be going back in with that bronzer from the Chrissy Teigen palette. And just taking a bit of that on there and just putting that in the edges. So freaking pretty because it's such a warm color. Okay, and then this is the part that really turns it back into a day look more and kind of tones down the dramatic part of it. And we're gonna take, again from the Peach palette, this shade Luscious down here, which is just a really nice lid color, quite nudie, glowy. And I'm just taking that on a Sigma E30 pencil brush. Okay, and then we're just gonna do a bit of blendy again with the NYX brush, but it has nothing on it this time. Okay, and then on the inner corner, we're gonna be taking the shade Nectar from the Peach palette again, which is just a nice highlight shade. Okay, and then you can just take any light brown shade and just kind of run it under your lower lash line. Now we're going to be curling lashes and putting on some mascara. using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, my all-time fave. Look at that difference. Wow. Okay, and now to finish off this look, we're going to be taking this new liquid lipstick that I got from NYX in the shade Ruffle Trim, which I've tried once and is absolutely gorgeous. It's just like the perfect nude shade. Okay, and then you can either leave it like this, which I think is very nice, or you can add on a gloss, because the gloss would kind of give it like more of a summery feel, a bit more like glowy, and adds to the like bronzy feel. So I'm going to be using my Kylie Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Candy K. And not too much, because this stuff is actually really thick and pigmented. So we're just gonna... And this kind of combination is just like my all-time absolute fave, having a nude liquid lipstick underneath and then like kind of rosier nude lip gloss on top. Okay, and again, if you have some kind of setting spray or my Badescu spray that on now. Sadly, I don't have any, so that won't be happening for me. So this is the finished makeup look. This is my like bronze goddess summer bronzy makeup look, and it's still like lightweight and doesn't feel heavy, but you still like look like you've got makeup on. You can wear it like in the evening, or you could wear it during the day. You can wear it anywhere really. Makeup, it's up to you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to do all the jazz down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or you liked anything about this video, please comment down below, because it really means the world to me when you guys do, and I love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!